Thank you so much. I think we have heard from her. You said one thing, we are the leaders of today, not tomorrow. So in most cases we hear, and in most cases I also see it on media, people, they use advocating, we are the leaders of tomorrow, and then tomorrow keeps on continuing, tomorrow until you age. Tomorrow never what? It never comes. So we are the leaders of today. If we do not take action today, then it will be very hard for us to what? To implement true leadership. She also said about bridging the gap. And that is one of the reasons to us why we are here today. That's why we have our leaders from our leaders from the government. We have our leaders from the civil society who are here so that we can have that common understanding. And women participation as well. When we talk about women participation, that is also one of the reasons to us why our leaders are here to guide and mentor us the young women. So CIDA is the implementing organization, and I would like to say that thank you so much for that. And can we give a round of applause because they have really done a great work to us. Yes? Thank you so much, CIDA, and I'm going to welcome a representative from SIHA. Yes, so you are most welcome.
Okay, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and also for our sister Grace, as the creative director of SIDA. We know that it is a community initiative development association for coming together actually to have this kind of intergenerational conversation, because we know it's actually very important. At first, I will just start by saying SIHA stands for Strategic Initiative for Women in the Horn of Africa. We are a regional organization, but also we have office based in Juba and as well as in WAM. And SIHA is actually a civil society organization that brings together grassroots women rights organizations from Sudan, South Sudan, Somaliland, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Uganda. It was established in 1995 by a collection of women's rights activists. It's just like the way the great things we are doing in South Sudan. So it is those women who actually sit and they were like, okay, since we are doing these great things, why can we come out with something that will address the issues that are affecting women in the Horn of Africa? And that's why they came with the name called SIHA. Its aim is actually to contribute to unlocking the massive potentials of women's rights movement in the Horn of Africa by improving the capacity of local organizations and building a strong network of grassroots civil society members that can interact and support one another in advocating for effective change. So our aim is that to ensure at least women's voices are being brought all together and they are able to strongly voice their voices towards the issues that they feel need to be addressed, and also their participation in decision making. This project is actually being supported by SIHA, like what she has said, and then it's particularly under the We Cannot Wait support. We Cannot Wait is actually one of the projects within SIHA that talks about towards an inclusive and diverse women movement in the Horn of Africa. So the diverse is to look into all the categories of women, and that's why today we are targeting both the intergenerational dialogue is actually focusing on bringing in the young women and also the elderly women so that they will be able to share their ideas and see how they can be able to strengthen their network and maybe work together, having a strong voice in addressing the challenges that we are facing in our country. And I believe that as today we will be discussing, hopefully the resolution will be able to help us come up with some of the tangible way forward in terms of building relationship with young women and also the elderly people, because it's actually very important for us to have this kind of conversation. I know this intergenerational dialogue is actually one of the vital things that can make sure that all the voices are heard, and also will be able to help us look in terms of the challenges that we are facing, what are the gaps that we have among ourselves as the young people and also the elderly people, how can we bridge this gap and address them towards a successful deliberation as we work together. And then actually this intergenerational dialogue will also help us to break down generational gaps and build more cohesive society. We understand that lifestyles of our previous people is different from the lifestyle of the .com generation. So we really need to create that environment that will accommodate all of us. Being as the smartness, or they call it what those people who are using the smartphones and those who are using the old phones, so that it's a big difference, but then it's still we need wisdom from them. That wisdom is the one that will help us to move forward. So it's very important for us not to undermine, but rather to create such a space so that it allows us to have a free discussion among ourselves and see how we can be able to move forward. Actually, this one will also help in terms of fostering understanding among ourselves as young people and also the elderly, because sometimes you will say, this mama is trying to impose her own ideas, but then at least we need to reach into having this mutual understanding among ourselves, because they may not understand our needs all, or we may not understand why they are so concerned of us, especially looking at the current situation where there is a lot of gang groups happening, and in the gang groups it's not only the boys are the ones participating, but also we have young girls who are also participating in that. So those are some of the practices that some of our grandmothers or some of our elders, they did not participate into that. But then how can we get the wisdom from them? How do we now try to understand some of the challenges that they are facing, and also them understanding the challenges that we are facing at the current situation, and how can we work together towards addressing those challenges. And this one actually will also help us to address some of these shared challenges that we have talked about. It will actually be good for us to understand based on the discussion, and I'm sure we will be having panelists that will be discussing, and we'll be hearing from them and also raise our voices, asking questions, so that those questions will be able to inform us of what best can actually fit in this current situation that we are in, because I know the challenges we are facing is a lot. And today's intergenerational dialogue is actually targeting, I think the majority is all women, so young women, which means in future we also need to ensure that such intergenerational dialogue, we also need to bring the other partner, our partners, who are the men or maybe the boys. Because as long as we are preparing the young girls, we also want to ensure that we also prepare the husbands that tomorrow they will also get married to it, so that if both of them are empowered, then they will have a great family. Are we all together? Yes. Then we will be able to have a great family, and then having that great family needs what? A collective support. Like we need to ensure that whenever we are empowering the young women, we should also empower their upcoming husbands. Because if we don't prepare them, then that one becomes a threat. Because if we talk of gender-based violence, who are the most cause of the gender-based violence? It's our partners, the boyfriends that we have, and all this. But then for us to get out of this trauma, or maybe for us to get out of this gender-based violence, is to ensure that also in our activities we make sure we also bring them on board, so that they will be able to support us. And also such intergenerational dialogue will also help us in terms of personal development. By just sitting and also listening to the panelists, the elderly people trying to share their experience, and also bringing in some of the young women who have realized that, who have done great things in their work of activism, or maybe in the space that they have, that they got, it will actually empower some of you to become like to become also someone who wants to be like so and so. Like you will be having that ambitious, or maybe that interest, like I also want to be like such person. So it's good also to mentor one another. So we will have people who will be mentoring us, so that we will be able to become like them, and also see where are the gaps, where are the challenges that I am facing. How do I ensure that I keep on improving myself, so that tomorrow I will become like Mama Zainab, or maybe like our honorable here from the ministry, so that I will also be in that big high position. Those are some of the inspiration. Like for us young people, you also need to be like, okay, if this person is like this, I think I also want to be like this person. And then if you started developing that passion, if you have passion for that thing, believe me, one day you will also see yourself in a certain level that you're also inspiring another young people. So this is what we actually wanted to see, that today's dialogue will really support us, and also in terms of promoting knowledge transfer. Knowledge transfer is very key. We should not ignore our elderly people. As we have seen this one, normally we have our grandmothers in the house. For those who have still their grandmothers around, you know, sometimes grandmothers, they are so concerned of their children. They want to make sure they eat. They want to make sure you are safe. So they are always concerned. They will always be concerned of you. So those are some of the things that should actually help us exchange, or maybe knowledge with them. Transfer of knowledge. You will have time to learn about your culture from your grandmother. This is how intergenerational works. It's not just in such a space, but in our houses. Who are those elderly people that we have in our families? How are we making use of them? Are we just looking at them like grandma, you just greet, save them water, all this stuff, you don't take time to talk with them? It's always good to talk with them, so that you also understand during their time, how are they actually, their lifestyle, so that you also compare with the one of ours now. What are the challenges? What went right? What did not went right? So those are some of the things, like for you to become a successful person, you also need to have kind of self-reflection. And also this one will also help in terms of breeding the inherited conflict. You know, as much as we are talking of gender-based violence, also that affects women, and especially when we talk about domestic violence, we know that there are some women who have gone through a lot in their lifestyle. But then it will also be good for us to understand some of the challenges. What are some of the causes, the root causes? How does they respond to problems whenever it arises within the families? So from listening to those kind of stories, I'm sure it will be able to help you be in the right position, so that once you get married, or if you have a boyfriend, you will know how to address the challenges that are coming in between you in a wise way, in an approach that will not create tension among you people. So I'm looking forward for the one-day discussion, and hopefully we'll be able to have a bit of interactions maybe later on to also get to know each other more. But I would just want to say that thank you so much, CIDA, for organizing this thing, and we are so happy to be part of this dialogue.
I actually started enjoying the remark, and I felt like she should continue, because she was actually in here, and she also decided to go out there, bringing in things of your boyfriend, your mother, your grandmother. Actually, you see, this dialogue is at a formal level, yeah? This is at a formal level, but when we talk of informal level, it happens at home there. The way we sit here in this office, in this room, is the same way we can actually sit at home with our parents, yeah? But this one is at a formal level, and thank you so much, SIHA. SIHA is the one supporting this program, and actually SIHA is also one of the reasons to us why we are here today. So if we look into the theme that we are having, together we rise. She talked of shared challenges. You see, as women, it doesn't matter young or not young. We have some shared challenges and obstacles that we are facing. But how do we overcome these challenges? We can only overcome these challenges when we come together. And coming together is like uniting to fight for what? For a common goal. And that is why we are seeing that theme today. Together, we rise. You cannot make it alone. As a young woman, you cannot make it alone. As our leaders here, they cannot make it alone. They need to mentor you to become like them. So women, we need to what? Work together. We unite, work together, so that we can achieve whatever that we intend to achieve. I want someone to give a very hard clap to SIHA. How do we make it? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So thank you so much, SIHA. And I want someone to shout Hakuma.